Boy, I tell you what, the legislative and the government are just finding more ways to scrutinize people from standing next to police officers, film the police. Oh yeah, it's just crazy. Now they got one in Louisiana. Check it out. State law criminalizes standing near cops. Louisiana law makes it a crime to stand too near a police officer. Yeah, I mean, some areas they got yeah. You know what it's called? It's called the Blue Line Matter law. That's what it is. I mean, Indiana, you can't be closer than 25 feet. Yeah, guess what? We got one right here. You can't be more than 25 feet.
It is now illegal to stand by the police.
Yep.
According to Louisiana. Louisiana law makes it a crime now if you would like to stand near a cop, maybe listen to what they're saying or perhaps record them in public, no more. So a new Louisiana law, effective August 1st, will make it a crime to knowingly approach within 25 feet of a police officer, quote, engage in law enforcement duties. And of course, they will say that's at all times. After being ordered to step back, opponents fear it could hinder the public's ability to film police for accountability, citing cases like George Floyd's killing. Opponents argue it will ensure officer safety by creating a buffer.
That's what it's all about, right there, right there. That's all about. It's about officer safety. It's all it's about. It's the only thing that matters. I mean, yeah, they're like I said, they're trying to make it to the point now where you can't film the cops while they're on duty. Period, because they'll say, "Oh, that's stalking and harassment like that." And I mean, we already know. We got them. We got the Team Blue Line lovers. You know, people say, "Oh, only go just back to blue." Yeah, we know some. We don't need to see any names for this thing, the video, but we know some.
Zone with millions watching and many. So Governor Jeff Landry, who has a law enforcement background, stated Tuesday during the bill signing, quote, this is part of our continued pledge to address public safety in this state. Keep his picture up for a minute.
Check this clown out.
Once again, messaging and conflation. Public safety and policing are two totally different things.
Yeah.
Public safety is the overall safety of the community. That is achieved by a multiplicity of programs, systems, and protocols. Policing is one aspect, and typically not a very good aspect at actually stopping crime or decreasing crime. Why? Because the police are reactionary agents. They react to crime as the design of the department. So if you want to decrease crime, which enhances public safety, you cannot look for your police department to do so. But they conflate these two intentionally. Put them up, full mask. So, per the Associated Press, a nearly identical bill was vetoed last year by then Governor Mel Edwards, a Democrat, who called the measure unnecessary and said it could be used to, quote, chill exercise of the First Amendment rights. Now, I'm going to give you the scenario, okay? Let's say you're recording a cop. This cop has possibly done something that looks suspicious to you. You're roughly 50 feet away. Mm-hmm. The officer tells you you're interfering with the investigation. You say something like, "No, I'm not. I'm way over here."
As a matter of fact, there was a video on the audit that a cop watcher was more than 100 feet away, but the cop approached him. The cop watcher didn't approach the police officer. The cop walked up to him 100 feet away, approached him, saying, "You're interfering with my investigation. I need you to stop recording." You know, cops would tell you, "Oh, I need you to put your phone away, or turn off your camera. Well, we got body cams running like that." See, and that's a red flag as well.
The officer turns around and starts walking towards you quickly.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're within the 25-foot zone, and he can arrest you because the law does not provide a caveat for if the cop is approaching you. There's more. Each of us have a constitutional right to freely observe public servants as they function in public and within the course and scope of their official duty.
Exactly.
This is what Governor John Bel Edwards said. Edwards served in the U.S. Army, was the son of a sheriff, said that in last year's veto. Observations of law enforcement, whether by witnesses to an incident with officers, individuals interacting with officers, or members of the press, are invaluable in promoting transparency. However,
You know, and like Sam Cream has said it best before. I mean, you don't need to have credentials. You don't need to have a press pass or say, you know, I'm working for the press to be a journalist or say, I'm going to do my independent research and investigation about being the press.
With a new governor and the GOP's super majority in the Louisiana legislature, the bill had a clear path forward. State Rep. Brian Fontenay, the bill's author, said the state law provides officers with peace of mind and safe distance to do their job, end quote. Lawmakers opposing the bill, among the most outspoken Black Democrats, have echoed Edwards' fears that the bill could impede onlookers' ability to observe police officers. Well, that's what the statute is meant to do. The 25-foot buffer legislation fundamentally seeks to curtail Louisiana's ability to hold police accountable for violence and misconduct. That's what the ACLU of Louisiana said in the statement Tuesday. Quote, we denounce the passage and signing of this legislation, urge our communities to stay vigilant and safe in response to these developments. The measure's supporters argue nearby bystanders would still be close enough to film police interactions. Quote, at 25 feet, that person can't spit in my face when I'm making an arrest.
Well, you had to be really a stupid idiot to want to spit in the cop's face.
Bill to the committee early in the year. Quote, the chances of him hitting me in the back of the head with a beer bottle at 25 feet, it sure is a lot more difficult than if he's sitting right here. Representative, did you have any criminal stats to present to the committee that this was a problem for law enforcement? Statistically an issue? No, you didn't. You see, the issues that he proclaimed do happen on occasion, less than 1% of the time. So what is this new law addressing? Nothing. It's trying to stop individuals from feeling comfortable with recording police officers. There's more. Additionally, those against the new crime say there is already a law that bars people from interfering with law enforcement investigations. Anyone who is convicted of the new crime of knowingly or intentionally approaching a police officer after being ordered to stop approaching or retreat faces up to $500 fine, up to 60 days in jail or both. Language in the measure appears to put in some safety net, stating that an acceptable defense to this crime includes establishing that a lawful command was neither received nor understood by the defendant. Well, that's after you go to jail, though. You see what I'm saying? That's after you go to jail, post bond, life is flipped upside down, you get an attorney, and you have a defense. That's what they gave. It's a damn shame. We knew this would happen, dear brother. We've seen it a few years ago when individuals obviously were advocating for police body cameras, et cetera. There was a lot of pushback about people recording them. But here's the irony. If you're a good cop, you want everybody recording you.
Yeah. Well, look, I think, Dr. Ritchie, I mean, the proof, as you point out, the proof that this is, in fact, an effort to squelch people from recording the police, the proof exists simply in the case law, and that is several circuit courts, and I believe it's even the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, have previously struck down these buffer zones, that the buffer zones are greater than, I think it's 8 or 10 feet. The idea that it's 25 feet, that is so far beyond the case law that it will certainly get struck down at the appellate level. The question becomes, if this gets kicked up to the Supreme Court, will the Supreme Court now, a conservative court, decide, well, yeah, maybe we're going to give law enforcement a bit of a break somehow by keeping people back? And it seems like the case law is so overwhelmingly against this. The Constitution makes it clear, and the interpretations of the Constitution make it clear. We have a right on public property, in the public site, in the public streets, as long as we're not interfering with police activity, to film and record our government officials. Now, if they're on private property, then that's a different matter. But again, it doesn't, the 25 feet, if you're on a sidewalk, if you're in a public easement and you're filming a cop, you have every right to film that cop as long as you're not interfering. And the moment our society says, no, we have to stop that, is the moment that we empower the bad cops and enable them to get away with more ridiculous stuff. And we hurt the good cops who are trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. And And the bitch up is, you get cops that tell you to stop filming or stop recording or put your phone away. I got a little short clip. I'll get that to in a minute. But before that, I mean, it's bad enough you got cops, that get away with it. They don't get held accountable. They don't face repercussions. They probably get suspended with pay. They don't get charged because bad enough. They got qualified immunity. It's crazy.
Pull my phone out of my pocket. Okay? I'm pull my phone out of my pocket. I'm gonna start recording. All right, police.
Mr. Thorne, put the phone down. We are recording right now. We have our body cameras on. Put the phone down now. Put the phone down now.
Yep. And the cops always try to tell you, they tell you stop recording or stop filming, we got body cameras like that. Yeah, but how many times, do you know how hard it is to FOIA request the body cam footage? Yeah, when they do good, they'll put it up all over the social media, on the internet, and on TV, and the news like that. But when they fucked up on the job, I mean, you have to go through loopholes just to get that shit. Loopholes just to get that body cam footage. And it's sometimes, it's like, sometimes people say, well, just comply. Yeah, comply now, complain later. Yeah, well, guess what happens a lot of times? They take revenge on you, and they make it personal. Yeah. Cops don't like it. Oh, you're a fucking snitch. Yeah, well, it's in our case. Fuck the cops. Stay all right, man. Peace out.